Greetings, children of the screen, your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, and welcome to another edition of Carry That Weight, the Cowboy Bebop Retrospective, where we are taking a look at Session 15, My Funny Valentine. And I am joined by...
Hey guys, I'm Vic.
Right on, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this episode.
Whoosh.
Okay, showtime.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
That's right, guys. Today we are talking about Session 15, My Funny Valentine, in which we get to finally learn a little bit about Faye's backstory. Not about where she actually comes from, but everything she knows about her own backstory. Where we find out that, like, Faye was in some kind of accident, and then she was, like, frozen, like the frickin' Winter Soldier and shit. And then whenever she woke up, she had massive amounts of debt. It was 55 years later, and she falls in love with her lawyer, who then dies and leaves her with another huge, massive amount of debt, which then led her to the life of crime that she now knows. And this is all told kind of through flashbacks and things of that nature, while at the same time, in the other side of the plot of the story, Jet is going after a very small fry bounty, this guy who's kind of a womanizer and kind of swindles women and stuff like that. Come to find out, it's the lawyer that she was in love with, and so yeah, it's a Faye-centric episode, and we get to find out a little bit more about why she is the way she is, and also let her get a little bit of closure on all the things that came in her life before she met up with the Bebop crew. So, Vic, what'd you think of this episode?
Well, I'm obviously already hooked on Cowboy Bebop since we've watched this much of it. So obviously I enjoyed it. Because typically whenever I watch a series of anime, I just enjoy all of the episodes. Even the bad ones, because it's just a part of the anime.
Well, luckily there's no bad Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, so far there hasn't been. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was curious about Faye. I'm still curious, but
yeah,
got to know a little more.
Right. I also really enjoy it, and it's a really nice one. Like, again, I think that, Faye oftentimes in the show comes across as a kind of a bitchy character, or a much more devious character than she really is. And between this episode and then the other episode that focuses on her backstory, we definitely get a very good understanding of the character. And I think really this episode gives us more of that understanding than the other one, whereas the other one gives us the true undercurrent of melancholy and sadness that goes along with the life that she's lived. But yeah, this episode is fun and also a little bit heartbreaking and super awesome. Alright, so I know it's going to be tough. What was your favorite thing out of this episode of Cowboy Bebop?
Surprisingly, not Ein.
Oh my god.
Not Ed.
Fuck balls.
I mean, I love both of them dearly.
Of course.
But I actually liked getting to see a more vulnerable side of Faye, because we get to see her as this badass.
Yeah, either a badass or an
take
incompetent.
names.
It's one of the extremes, either badass or incompetent.
Yeah, but we get to see her as this vulnerable woman who lets herself fall for a guy.
Yeah, and we also get to see that version of her start breaking through the armor that she's built up a little bit. I really love seeing Faye wake up in the world she doesn't understand, and the whole thing of this isn't a television monitor, this is a washing machine, or
God.
know, and this isn't a cell phone, it's a
thermometer.
thermometer.
She's
yeah, and
bullshit.
And the face cleaner water pitcher is the dumbest looking one ever. I was just what were you guys even fucking thinking? But the scene still works really, really well. And yeah, also seeing Faye genuinely fall in love, like you were saying, is really, really cool. Especially because, again, that's the basis of all her memories. Her first thing that she remembers as being a person is being falling in love with someone and then having them die, and that debt getting added to them. And like I think that idea has always kind of haunted her and made her think she was cursed, and then finding out that it was like she was screwed over, finding out she was betrayed by him.
Of course, the first man she falls in love with is swindling her.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like that old saying goes again, like, you know, the truth may set you free, but first it's going to piss you off. Like, it pisses her off to no end, but at the end of the day, it actually reveals an underlying truth about who she is, which is that she's not cursed. That, like, she's been dealt a bad hand at every turn, and she's dealt with it as best as she can, but cursed is definitely not it. Like, if she works at it and she keeps moving forward, like, she will find something down the road, or at least it presents the hope of that. Like, it's not her entire existence is, like, cosmically somehow just totally fucked. Just that's existence for everybody, and hers is a little tougher than some's. And as for me, again, this is a very Faye-centric episode, so a lot of it a lot of the elements relate, and mine relates to your favorite thing very much. I love the fact that Faye gives her backstory to the dog.
Yes.
But she is walking along and, like, decides to give her backstory right next to the bathroom, which every time we see it in the show, when someone's not in there, the door is open, and the door is very clearly closed, and she knows where Jet is on the ship. And so, inevitably, what ends up happening is we find out that Spike has been in there, and she gets pissy at him for, like, eavesdropping on her. But I personally think that, like, along with all the other themes in the show, that's put there because subconsciously I think Faye knows Spike's in there. And she also knows that she has a deeper connection with him as a character than she wants to admit. And this is her way of being able to open up to him while still, in a way, being safe. She doesn't look vulnerable. She doesn't look like she needs to share it with somebody, or like she, like, has some kind of thing for him. It's just a matter of, like, you know me better now, but I didn't have to give up anything for that. You know, it's Faye trying to do what Faye does, trying to, like, work the system and stuff. But I don't even think at this point she really even knows that on, like, a conscious level. So the scene is, like, funny, we get good backstory, and, like, it really develops Faye's character arc quite a bit, even if I'm just overreading into it, which I don't think I am. But even if that's the case, it's still just a great scene, and also, like, it really helps break up kind of, like, the way that the pacing of all the information we're getting, like, works. It's just fun, and I dig it.
Yeah. I also like how the moment he steps out that door, the vulnerability is just gone, and she's like, were you eavesdropping on me?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's also great because, like, it's one of the few times we see Spike not in his suit. He's just, like, in, like, pajama pants and a t-shirt. And, like, he's not even, like, cool Spike guy. He's just, like, whatever. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's a great episode with a lot of good stuff in it, but that's probably my favorite thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Ian's really cute in the scene.
He is.
It's amazing.
He's cute all throughout. I mean, eyebrows.
Yeah.
That they drew on.
Yeah, you drew the fucking eyebrows on him. That's... This is a much better episode than people give it credit for. I think that's what we're getting at.
Yeah. Definitely.
Look who's here. You must really want me back.
Yeah, nice try.
You were jealous.
In your dreams.
I'm still in the dark. I may never know anything about my past.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
Easy for you to say. At least you have a past.
And you have a future. That's what counts.
What's this?
It's your share of the bounty. The smallest of the small fries.
So, what was your least favorite thing out of this episode? Was there anything that just didn't work for you?
I mean, there's nothing in particular that, like, didn't work for me, but I didn't exactly enjoy the fact that Faye did exactly what everybody expected her to do, which was, like, help the guy escape. Because I thought, you know, whenever Spike was like, oh,
yeah,
you know, Faye's, you know, are you worried about Faye doing the thing? And then Jet's like, yeah, she's gonna do the thing. She's that type of woman. And I was like, oh, they're gonna build it up as like, oh, she's that type of woman, and then she's gonna surprise us and not do the thing, but she did the thing. Like, I understand why she did it. It was just something where I was like, it would have been nice for her to, like, surprise them.
Yeah,
you know?
It would have been. But at the same time, we got some really cool action out of it and stuff. But yeah, if you got to nitpick and pick something, like, that's fair. That's fair. I think it works out just because she technically does the action that they say she'll do, but no, she doesn't have the motivation that they think she'll have. Like, they think she's gonna free him because she's still in love with him and just, like, can't turn him over.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, it's more she just wants to know who she is and then she wants to steal the bounty from him.
Yeah.
That's fair, but, yeah, gotta pick something.
Yeah, I did. It didn't even bother me that much. I just had to say something to fill the space.
So as for me, my least favorite thing out of Session 15 is at the point in the episode where the doctor from the cryogenics lab and his assistant show up in the police cruiser to, like, pick up home dude, like Faye's ex-boyfriend or whatever. They never explain how they found them. It's left very mysterious, and they, like, get away all crazy, like, at the end, so, like... But we don't really know very much about them to know, like, how actually connected they are or what kind of resources they have. So, like, and again, like, it's characters who never really have any other part to play in any other episode or anything like that. So it's not that big a deal, but it is kind of a massive plot contrivance.
I bet you it was the tattoo on his...
Maybe
it has some kind of, like, tracking.
Maybe, but, like...
I'm trying.
And again, like, they called it in, so, like, you could maybe argue that, like, them calling in that they had picked up the bounty is what told the guy where he was, but that still suggests that, like, he stole the police vessel and then tracked them down, like, within a matter of minutes or something like that. So it's a massive plot contrivance, and as we said, this is a great episode, and it's hard to find something that you don't like out of the episode, but, like, if this were any other show that I didn't love so much, I would really have a problem with that, whereas in this I don't so much, but that shouldn't suggest that it's not still a problem. It's just there's enough good to outweigh it. So yeah, that's my least favorite thing. Plot contrivance.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right on, guys. So yeah, pretty good episode. Had a lot of cool stuff in it. We also got to see Faye frozen in, like, ice, where she's pretty much naked except for ice, like, strategically placed ice to cover the nudity. That was cool. Some cool gunfights in space. That was awesome. Where would you say that this episode ranks so far with the others that you've seen? Like, obviously not a number, but, like, you know, how does this rank in terms of, like, your favorite episodes? Is it on up there, or is this one that's... Because, again, they're all really good, but is it close to your favorites, or is it more like it's just another really solid episode?
For me, it's just another solid episode because, again, like, I'm typically someone who likes the more humorous types of things versus the more melancholy. But, like, for the show, it works. Like, it's obviously still
and it's got a
great
good balance
episode.
of those things.
My favorites tend to lean towards the ones that, like, feature Ed, that's more on the lighthearted, humorous side of things.
Man, I can't wait till we get to Mushroom Samba. You're gonna fucking love Mushroom Samba.
It's probably gonna end up being my favorite.
Right?
It's probably up there. I'm excited.
As am I. So right on, guys. Yeah, it was another good episode, and we very much enjoyed it. And if you're still watching these videos and somehow haven't started watching Cowboy Bebop, get the fuck on that. Hell yeah.
A confidence man who cons women, that's who you want to catch?
I don't have much choice.
Is he a big, tough crook?
Smallest of the small fries. Spike's gonna hate it when I tell him about it.
Edward wants chocolate!
Guess I'll do it alone then.
So once again, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like, share it with some friends, and if you're not subscribed, hit that little bell so you can get updates on all the dope content we'll have coming out in the future. Furthermore, guys, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, I will have the links for that in the description below. Thank you, children of the screen. Hope you have a good one. Nerd Scum, out.
Allez, à bientôt. See you next time. Good night.
The real fabulous 本当の悲しみが知りたいだけ泥の川に使